Now, with the change to a course based on the national curriculum, we've had to, in addition to using our P&F formulae to find the principal remaining, so many payments that have gone down, so many left, or future funds, we've also had to take on board the concept of using a recurrence relationship in order to find the balance after a certain number of payments. We can express that as the common ratio, which will be the interest rate per period, 1.0 something. And also from the difference, the amount we take off, starting with a principal, and also an annuities in advance scenario, where we start from nothing and build that up by multiplying the common ratio by the previous term plus the difference combined. Now, it's very limiting, and on your calculator you'll find for larger, longer scenarios it really clunks. So when it comes to annuities in advance, annuities in arrears, 9 times out of 10, the formula or the TVM solver. The TVM solver is, of course, the only way we can find the repayment, the interest, or the number of payments. But we will now start looking at a couple of questions in this way. The first one, question 32, is a repayment of a loan or an annuities in arrears scenario. So just a reminder, we really only make use of this sequencing when we really want to see a table of repayments or a table of balances. It's a little clunky. Now, Tina's paying off a car loan, so we have annuities in arrears, her repayments or a difference. Mine is 132.96 there. Her interest rate is 6% outstanding each month. Now, the first thing we've got to do is to work out the monthly interest rate. Now, 6 divided by 12 divided by 100, 0.005 or 0.5% if we had to express it as a percentage. Now, to set up a difference equation, and we've got to state what she's had initially. I'll just set that up on. Now, as you've done a few of these, I've just quickly set that up. So 3,000 drops to 2,882, etc. Now, you're to record that and write down how long it takes to pay the loan off. Now, this is where it gets pretty clunky. I've got default setting to the previous question I've used. So, it does get down to be paid after 24 payments, by the looks of it, or virtually 24 payments. So I'll just record that data now, the information, and we can work it out. So it's paid off. Let's bring that calculator up. Quite nicely, it's paid off after 24 months. So it's a relatively short-term loan. Now, if we want to see what's left after 18 months, we'll just scroll back up. After 18 months, there's $7.84 remaining. Now, as you know, if you've already done the finance unit, we can also do this on our graphics calculator using the financial solver. Now, if you haven't done the finance unit, you might like to skip those checks. If you've done the finance unit, it pays to check them off as well. Please notice we would normally do a question like this using the financial solver or the reducing balance annuities in arrears type question. As I've already mentioned, I've assumed that you've done the finance unit. If you haven't, I wouldn't do this checking off, obviously. So the finance TVM solver gives us the following. There are 6 payment periods left. Our interest rate is 6%. Our present value, I don't know the present value, 0. And I'll put the payment of negative 132.96. I'll put all these figures in. Future value, we want our loan to come down to 0. Our payments per year and compounding per year are going to be 12. And the last thing I've got to do is just to make sure it's at the end, because interest is charged at the end of the month. And I click on the present value and I get present value of 783.98, which compares pretty favourably with the 784.03. I suspect there's a little bit of rounding with the repayment figure, but a nice little question to check. Please note we don't labour these too much.